Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this week's sports podcast. It's Friday, the 30th of July 2021. The weather's a bit grim outside. Hopefully, it's going to pick up over the weekend for this weekend's cricket. We've got plenty to get through this week as usual. I think the place we need to start with is probably going to be the Olympics. Team GB have made a really good start to the Olympics this time. I've just looked at the medal table, and so far we have 6 golds, 9 silvers, 9 bronzes. In sports that perhaps traditionally we wouldn't associate with our country or with the Olympics themselves. Most recently this morning has been reading a tweet or seeing a tweet from Liam Gallagher congratulating Beth Shriver on winning a gold in the BMX racing. So BMX racing wasn't something I expected to see at the top of the agenda for or medal winning for Team GB. Maybe when I was growing up as a teenager, it was something. BMX was something that was new, and we played under the park. So, but well done to her. Obviously performing well in the swimming. Adam Peaty's done well to get a gold medal, and Tom Dean, another swimmer, has got 2 gold medals. I think his story is more remarkable in the fact that he suffered from COVID twice, he's recovered from it twice, and he's won 2 gold medals, once individually and once in the relay. So great performances so far by Team G. Let's hope they can keep it up. There's 6 in the medal table at the moment, and it's really good performance so far. We're just about, well, more or less halfway through the games now, and we're getting to the point where the athletics should be starting shortly. This morning, GB women take part in their football quarter-final against Australia, so good luck to them in that. We've just seen the team lineups go across the screen a few minutes ago, so obviously kick-off's not too far away now. So well done everybody there. Moving on from the Olympics, talk about football briefly. There's not a lot happening in the world of football because obviously the Premier League season hasn't started yet, none of the English League season started yet. The Scottish League season starts this weekend, and Celtic are already out of the Champions League qualifiers and they'll now take part in the Europa League qualifiers. Aberdeen and I think it was Hibernian come through their second qualifying round Europa League matches last night, so they're through. So they'll all be in the same tournament in the third qualifying round. Be interested to see what kind of season Celtic have. But I'm expecting Rangers to win a title again. They seem to have a better squad, they seem to have a better togetherness about them. I'd be interested to see how Celtic do form though. In terms of Halifax, first of all I want to say I really like the new kits that they've brought out, especially the away one, the purple and white one's great, and the blue one's great. Obviously the home kit's fantastic anyway. Thanks to people at Newey Bathrooms for their continued support as well, and Halifax Bathrooms and Kitchens. The town have played their first friendly game. There were lots of trialists involved on Tuesday night in a 0-0 draw at Farsley, away to Farsley, and they continue the warm-up to the season this evening with a game away to Carlisle, weather permitting of course. One of the friendlies has been cancelled, a game against Huddersfield B, or under 23 is what you want to call it. That was going to be the last warm-up game before the season started, but that's now being moved twice, and now it's finally been cancelled. So I'm guessing that town will try and replace that with another fixture. Okay, so we've got 2 or 3 weeks to go yet. Elsewhere, Manchester United have made some signings. They've signed Rafael Varane to go with Jadon Sancho to strengthen their squad. And obviously Man City are looking to sign Jack Grealish from Aston Villa, which would be a blow to Villa from a personal point of view. But if it does happen, I accept that, it's a progression for Jack's career, and good luck to him if he does go. Okay, moving on now to cricket. And we're going to look at last weekend's events in Halifax Cricket League. And first of all, I'd like to start with a great result for Bradshaw in their game last weekend. They managed to beat Worley by 1 wicket. That's a fantastic result for them. I think it's fair to say the hero of the game was Aaron Buckley, who took 7 for 53. What a fantastic performance that is. Basically, it was a low-scoring game, and Worley managed to put together 148 all out, which is not a very high score, as I'm sure you're aware. And for Worley, the top scorer was Chris Marsh. He scored 41 of that total. A couple of the contributions, Katana got 24 and Toby Cliff scored 22. But Aaron basically destroyed the upper order, and Cy Collins chipped in with a couple of wickets as well to restrict them to 148 all out. And in response, Bradshaw managed to get home by basically being consistent throughout the top order. The highest scorer was Piers Fisher with 26, Cy got 22, and there were also 17s and 18s amongst the team, but they managed to scrape home by 1 wicket. They got to 151 for 9, so a good result for Bradshaw there. They take the 12 points to 4 for Worley. So Sowerby Bridge in their game, unfortunately, were defeated. They lost to Booth by 49 runs. Booth managed to amass a total of 220. For Booth, the top scorer there was Eric Powell with 42. But again, consistency amongst the top orders. We got 32 from Patrick Thomas. Hashim Wajid scored 29, and Richard Laycock got 26. And they totalled, like I say, 220 all out. Great bowling performance for Sowerby Bridge. The best performance all round really for the season for Sam Mellor. Sam took 5 for 66. A couple of wickets for Jake Dixon, 2 for John Brown and 1 for Tom Belfield. And when it came to Sowerby Bridge's turn for batting, again, they couldn't manage to total. They were all out for 171, but Sam Mellor, 49 not out. He just ran out of partners in the end. Good performance by him. His only real support came from James Holdsworth, who got 39, Tim Helliwell, who got 30, and John Brown with 22. So disappointing overall outcome for Sowerby Bridge, but not a bad effort in the context of things. In all the other games, Myvenroyd beat Blackley by 45 runs, and SBCI beat Shelford North Arm Hedgetop by 38 runs. Thornton beat Copley by 62 runs, and Triangle beat Illingworth St Mary's by 48 runs. So we had 6 clear-cut victories this last weekend, so that's good news. Like I say, hopefully the weather this weekend will be good enough for the games to go ahead. This weekend's games are as follows: Bradshaw at home to Booth, Copley are at home to Triangle, Illingworth St Mary's are at home to Worley, Myvenroyd are at home to Thornton, Shelford North Arm Hedgetop are at home to Blackley, and finally SBCI are at home to Sowerby Bridge in the Sowerby Bridge Derby. So that'll be a big game down there at the Astleys, and let's hope we get some, like I say, decent weather for those games to go ahead. Moving away from local league cricket to talk about cricket on a more national level, the 100 is now underway. As we all know, it has divided opinion, and I've watched a few of the games, and they've been fairly close, most of them. I'm not sure yet whether I really enjoy the format or not. I think it'll take a little bit longer. I was hoping to see some better performances by the Northern Supercharged. They're really struggling at the moment, and they've only got 1 point, and that was only because the game against Manchester Originals was wiped out due to the weather on Wednesday, so they've got the single point. Ben Stokes, who has been the captain, is now left as well to go to test duty for England, and I believe he's going to be replaced by Faf du Plessis for the forthcoming game. So let's see how they get on in the rest of the games. But Trent Rockets look like a really strong outfit. They've won 3 out of 3 so far, and their all-round ability and the fact that they've got a cluster of Nottinghamshire players who are really good in the one-day competitions anyway stands them in good stead, and they're my favourites at this stage. But anything can happen. You never know what happens with players having to go back to their own countries, or people not being able to come because of COVID, or injuries to the domestic players. So anything could happen there. I've got to say I've been quite impressed by the women's competition so far. Some of the performances there have been really good. I've watched quite a few of those games as well. Alice Capsey, I think she's 16 years old, scored 59 one game for, I think it's Oval she plays for. She's done really well, so good luck to her. And another one to mention has done well, the bowler Lauren Bell, who looks quite to be a good bowler as well, so keep an eye out for those two girls doing well in the future. Yorkshire are playing in the One Day Cup. They've had a good start to it, a really good result last weekend away to Leicestershire, where they won by 7 wickets, and the young wicketkeeper Duke scored 125 not out of 130 balls, or 125 130 balls to help Yorkshire home. And again, he was supported by George Hill, who got 90 not out. So Yorkshire, they're playing sort of like basically a youth team or a second team against the other teams in the One Day Cup, because of they've been depleted by the England call-ups, and also because of the players that are in the 100. So let's see how they get on in that. They had a game against Northamptonshire on Wednesday. It sounds like the highlight of that was the chance for people to go and see the Stereophonics live at the Open Air Theatre in Scarborough after the game, because the game was washed out after Yorkshire had battered, and Northampton only managed to score 2 runs off 5 balls, and that was it. The game was abandoned. So let's hope Yorkshire can progress in this. They've done well in the T20. The next round of that, I think, is the end of August. I think it's at quarter. I think they're playing this quarter final at Durham. simply because of the availability of the ground at either Headingley, I think mainly is the issue. So test match, I believe, around that time. So yeah, they're playing that at Durham as far as I'm aware. So good luck to Yorkshire in the next round of the T20 Blast. And moving on from cricket, we're now going to talk about stock cars, and this weekend sees the first semi-final of the World Championship at Kings Lynn. Defending champion Tom Harris, he's not in this one, he's in the second semi-final at Skegness, but he warmed up for his title defence by winning the European Championship at Northampton International Raceway last weekend. So Tom's just about hitting top form now, just at the time when it matters most. He'll be looking to defend his title at Oddsall in Bradford on the 11th of September. But tomorrow's lineup sees most of the drivers in the grid are familiar with Shale. There's 2 or 3 that aren't. I think it may be difficult for Luke Davison to the back of the grid. Catherine Harris also looked in the first season. Only ever raced on tarmac so far. And Sean Webster, who's mainly a tarmac racer, but he's got quite a lot of nous and experience, so he could well sneak through, I reckon. So keep your eyes out for the results and update on that next weekend for you. In the world of Speedway, we have the rounds 3 and 4 of the Speedway Grand Prix this weekend, tonight and tomorrow in Wrocław in Poland. We have Magic Janowski leading the way after the first 2 rounds, followed by Laguta, Saifutinov and Freddie Lindgren. I think that the leaders board should start to take shape after these 2 rounds. Wrocław Num provides some good action. Hopefully Ty Woofing on his home Polish track should be able to pick up some more points and get back into the title frame. Robert Lambert, good first round, not so good second round. Struggled with his gating, hopefully can perform better tonight. And it'll be interesting to see how the wildcard Gleb Chuganov, who rides for Wrocław, the Russian who now performs under the Polish flag, see how he gets on as well. So I'm looking forward to hopefully there will be 2 exciting meetings. After the first 2 rounds were not exciting, and we had weather intervention in Prague, so we've got these 2, and then we've got I think Maila in Sweden's the next round, so we've got 11 rounds altogether. I believe there are 3 or 4 double rounds. The last 2 rounds, a double weekend in October at Torrun to decide the title. Hopefully it won't be decided before that. Hopefully it'll go all the way. So yeah, looking forward to some exciting action coming up. In the domestic speedway, last night Ipswich beat Kings Lynn by 2 points, 46-44. Craig Cook was the top scorer for Ipswich with 14 points. And they're having a very poor season at Kings Lynn so far. Richard Lawson was top scorer for Kings Lynn. I think he got 12 or something like that, but not sure. But yeah, so at the top of the table we've got Wolverhampton, Bellevue, Peterborough fighting it out, and like I said previously, I think it's going to be between Sheffield and Ipswich for the final playoff place. Not too long now to the next to the next live BT Sport meeting. It's not actually that close. It's on the 16th of August, and that will be the British final at the National Speedway Stadium in Bellevue, Manchester. So keep your eyes out for that. The lineup has been announced. The draw's not been made yet. 6 former champions involved. Current champion is Ross Roryschlein, who is Australian, but he has British heritage, so that's why he's allowed to take part, I guess. Let's hope he doesn't win it again, because I'd rather see one of the English lads win it. I'm sure he'd just rather not win it as well again. I can understand him wanting to win it, but you know, it's not really that important to him, I don't think, really. It was just money, to be honest, to take part in winning it. It gives him a title, but he's not British. End of story. Okay, moving on now from Speedway, we're going to talk about the Rugby Union and the second Lions test against South Africa. It's at 5 PM tomorrow, Saturday the 31st of July. The Lions won the first game last Saturday by 22 points to 17, I think it was, and there was a lot of controversy about the TMO because he was actually South African. I think South Africa felt he went against them. I'm not sure he did. I thought he did a good job. They feel differently. We'll see how they get on the second match. Hopefully they can wrap the series up tomorrow. It'd be great if he can. Rugby League next on the agenda, and talk about the Championship mainly. Halifax have a big game on Sunday at the Shane. Halifax against Bradford Bulls. Halifax overtook Bradford in the table last Sunday. The Bulls will be looking to try and reclaim that place by beating Halifax. As a Halifax fan, I hope they actually batter them. We don't like the Bulls, sorry. But there you go. And then moving on from there, we're going to talk about horse racing. Goodwood's on at the moment. Glorious Goodwood. We're on day 4 out of 5 of the festival. Somewhat ruined by the weather, I'd say, from my personal experience so far. Stradivarius pulling out was a massive disappointment. On the first day, and also the sad injury to Sir Ron Priestley, a great horse over many years. Thankfully, it's not a life-threatening injury, but it does mean his racing career is probably over. So, just like to say thanks to Sir Ron Priestley for providing some great entertainment over the years in racing. We have today and tomorrow left. We also have mentioned that the Galway Festival is going on in Ireland, so there's plenty of good racing action. Hopefully, the weather will improve to some degree, so that the last couple of days aren't spoiled. They were expecting a lot of rain last night at Goodwood. I'm not sure whether it came or not, but the ground means that a lot of the horses are pulling out because they don't like the soft ground, understandably. So let's hope it doesn't damage it any further. And then just before we go, the last thing that I want to mention is basically well done to Peter Wright on winning the match play darts last weekend. Great performance by him, performed well all the way through the tournament, and he said before the start he was going to win it, and he did. He was a man of his word, and he beat Dimitri van der Berg comfortably in the final. Dimitri was the defending champion. He also performed well. He knocked out world champion Gerwyn Price during the week, so he played well. Peter Wright beat Michael van Gerwen fairly comfortably. I think it was 17-10 in the semi-final on the Saturday night. Michael's not quite performing at the level we expect of him, but he's still he was getting more like something like he used to be this last week. So as we get closer towards the World Championship in the year, we'll see how he performs and whether he's going to be in a situation where perhaps he can wrestle the World Championship back from Gerwyn Price. Okay, I think that's about it for this weekend, so I hope that you've enjoyed watching as always. Any feedback that you have, please let me have it in the comments below, and until next week, it's goodbye from me.